Joe R. says the conference level UMC mafia have made following the disaffiliation process as bad as any business divestiture I saw in my career. Save face / protect the brand. Yeah, there really is this institutionalist mentality that is really embarrassing for a denomination to have. But we're not the first people we've seen this. I mean, you saw this in the Roman Catholic behavior, covering up bad behavior on the part of priests, this kind of circling of the wagons. And we're not even going to think about what we've done wrong. We're just going to protect what we've built. It's heinous. Southern Baptist Convention did a similar thing to a lesser degree. Of course, we're not talking about sexual misbehavior so much in this case. We are talking about sexual ethics. But even so, I'm going to do a report soon on this bishop, so I'm not going to say their name, but I talked to conservatives that have been having conversations with a bishop over a prolonged period of time where the bishop just couldn't understand why it is that the sexual ethics thing would be a bridge that so many are unwilling to cross. And for so many, the narrative has been, we're the bridge crossers. There isn't anything that's too far for us. All of a sudden, you have scruples. Why would you take issue with this and not any of the things that came before? And there's so many people in leadership in the UMC who it's just like, why would you have no problem with this and with this? And then all of a sudden you have a problem with this. It makes no sense to them. And they just can't understand the plain. I mean, they look at people like me who say, it's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. I can't receive it because the Bible says it's plainly wrong. And to them, they're just going, I thought we were doing all the things the Bible said was wrong. I thought that's like what we were doing. And they've found that, like, no, a lot of us have no interest in that. Like, we find that repugnant. We want to get away from that. Eileen says, how does telling the truth equate with threats? Her reasoning is sad because she took it down, not because it's a very bad article. Yeah, with my son, he got in trouble the other day, and he said, I'm sorry. And I said, you're not sorry that you did it. You're sorry you got caught. And there's a difference there. And I would rather him be sorry for getting caught than not sorry at all. But even so, when you're talking about what's a kind of integrity person that I want to trust, that I want to let be a voice in my life, if they don't cotton up to when they've done something wrong or use bad judgment, but instead blame it on, I did everything right, and you can see it my way if you squint really hard, but really the bad guy is this other guy who just pointed out how messed up it was. That's projection. That's dishonest. So I don't know. I would like to think that there are a bunch of people who lean left who thought that Insight was a reputable, respectable thing, and now have seen through that because they published something so icky and then refused to apologize for it. But this is the times we're living in, and it's my show. I can draw what parallels I want. With the Israel Hamas stuff, there was this thing that happened, a week ago, where the Hamas said that Israel shot a missile into their hospital and 500 people died. And it turned out to be completely false. But New York Times, CNN, several other mainstream outlets just uncritically took what Hamas said and reported it. And it was only later that forensic evidence showed it wasn't a Hamas missile. It was Islamic Jihad. It was some other group. And it didn't hit the hospital. It hit the parking lot, and it didn't kill 500. It killed maybe 100. But, the thing is, after publishing that, New York Times should have lost so much credibility. But they didn't, because people have already chosen their side, and this is my publication of my side. So they can get 100 things wrong. I'm still going to read them and regurgitate what I hear from them, because we live in this time where truth is relative. We don't believe in an absolute truth, an ontological truth. We believe in my truth and your truth. So I can believe that the Israeli Defense Force bombed intentionally a hospital because they hate civilians. And you know what? You can talk as many facts as you want with me. I don't care, because my experts at the New York Times told me that this is the truth, and I believe in them, not in your facts. That's when society becomes very dangerous, because we're not sharing in the same world. We are sharing in two different realities that are self-reinforcing and self-justifying. A lot of people have been ringing this bell saying, hey man, this heads towards civil war. I don't want that. We need to recreate a sense of objective reality, of truth. and people who have the energy for it rather than running to the next new thing, being concerned about the current thing, but people who dig their feet in and figure out the truth of a matter, who the people are that you can trust, who the actual experts are versus who the experts are that have been bought and paid for. This is what critical thinking looks like. This is what a democracy looks like. If you don't want to do it, then shut up. You don't have a right to talk. And that's not just for people on the left. That's for people on the right who want to just regurgitate their favorite people. You have to critically examine everything. Otherwise, what you believe isn't worth much.